Everything in this video can be found on a public domain in the full disclaimers down below. Hey, welcome to the Danger Zone. It's Ashley. I wish you lots of love and many blessings. Phil and Jay and Peter, Connie and Patty, thank you. We are not the only ones that noticed quite a few things during her publicity stunt for her birthday. Aside from the fact that Harry is just an absolutely starved for attention at any given moment, like a little 5-year-old child. You know, my brother and I both were raised in safer days. You know, it was a different time back then. And my parents definitely locked us out of the house on a Saturday. We were awful kids. I can remember doing stupid stuff at the window trying to get my mom or, you know, her friend's attention or my dad's attention. Let us in. We're thirsty. And of course they'd mouth, hose pipe. You know she told him, go on outside and leave us alone. Let us do what we have to do. Get out of my hair. We're having grown-up time in here. He was probably thirsty or needing a snack or something. I don't think she gives him all that much attention. I really don't, because he did the same thing when Oprah paid their chicken coop a little visit. Do y'all remember how goofy he acted? Everybody was focused on the chicken and Megan was gearing up for her Little Mermaid. You know, I got my voice back. And I'm not really sure if it was Oprah who started humming Just the Two of Us or who said what regarding that song. But if you ever go back and watch that part, watch Harry. He is so desperate to be in this attention. He starts singing Just the Three of Us like a dummy. That's not even the song. Oprah's hair swung around and looked at him and started laughing. You know, he's such a goober. He desperately needs attention, and he's not getting it at home. While he was singing that, Megan gave him the old side eye. So getting back to it, Megan really made an ass out of herself. She really did, and for Melissa McCarthy to go along with that, kind of like knocked her down a few pegs in my book. And I forgot who it was, but I want to say thank you. Somebody brought it up that she's been watching The Crown way too much, because her entire setup mimicked that almost identical as to the Queen on the Crown's desk setup. She cannot be original. She has nothing original in her. Her birthday initiative, that 40 friends for 40 minutes, you know, trying to help an unemployed woman get gainfully employed, that entire concept was not hers. She literally took that from Nelson Mandela. Because Mandela fought for social justice for 67 years, they were asking people to start with 67 minutes. They said they'd be honored if such a day can serve to bring together people around the world to fight poverty and promote peace, reconciliation, and cultural diversity, according to a statement issued on Mandela's behalf. And it starts with just 67 minutes. When will, like, some huge media platform call her out on this stuff? All her plagiarism, all her copying everybody. I mean, it gets old. I would personally not show my face if I was going around using everybody else's work, claiming it as my own. Let me ask you something. It's like my buddy Peter was talking about. What do 40 of anybody that knows Megan know about trying to mentor unemployed women for 40 minutes? What will 40 minutes talking from their mansion or their swimming pool or their business or their Mercedes do for somebody in a lower income bracket? What will that do for somebody? Will that rev them up, wanting them to, yeah, let's hurry up and get back to work so I can, you know, not everybody falls into that lifestyle, that Hollywood lifestyle. People actually have to physically work for a living. How can a filthy rich friend of Megan's relate to somebody that's worked so hard, you know, 1, 2, 3 jobs to support their family, that happens to be down on their luck in the worst way right now? How does that benefit them when they cannot even relate to these people? She's asking 40 of her closest friends to spend 40 minutes with somebody down on their luck, and she's doing this sitting in a $20 million house with 16 different commodes to flush. Samantha nailed it when she said that Megan has disassociated. She's not connected. She lives in a fantasy bubble. There's no reality in her mind. Y'all, that's dangerous. And Samantha nailed it too when she said nobody needs a lecture. They need action. They need resources. We'll get right back to Samantha here in just a second, but for right now, her party turned out to be quite a flop. I don't think anybody showed up but maybe Doria and a couple of other people, stragglers. It was told to me by my buddy Jay this morning everybody used every excuse in the book not to attend. And I think it's safe to say that they've worn their welcome out quite a bit in Montecito. It's pretty sad when your neighbor doesn't want to walk over and have a piece of that $300 cake with you. And keep in mind, she and Harry have never received an invite to celebrate Obama's birthday this weekend. But supposedly she's going around telling people that they were invited and that she just can't travel to Martha's Vineyard right now, just having had a child and all. But you can travel with Harry. He wants to take you away for the weekend. I'm going to say she was not invited.
Will, and it's really strange juxtaposed with what would normally be a happy birthday celebration. So yeah, I'd like to say happy birthday. Birthdays are supposed to be great, but I think in this case it would be much nicer if it was a rebirth of sorts and a new beginning. But you know, given the track record, that's not likely. So it's very bittersweet.
So some breaking news, the launch of this new initiative, 40 by 40. What did you make of it? Because it seemed quite cringeworthy, that video with Melissa McCarthy, but do you think it was a good cause, a good thing for Meghan to do on her 40th?
No, honestly, I think there's a more direct approach to helping people in crises, and I don't think donating 40 minutes for positive videos is really it. There are people out there who are homeless, who are starving, who need boots on the ground and resources. So all of the video stuff seems like a lot of PR fluff, and I really don't see it as, being use tack. It would be exercising his basic grandparental rights to see his grandchildren. He's in the last stretch of his life. He's done nothing wrong. And so I think to have that, bit of closure in his life and be able to meet his grandchildren, so at least they have some photographic idea of where he placed in their lives and some sense of where they come from. That's important to them. So it's not just about him. It's about the kids having a sense of identity too. And wow, a lot of kids don't get to meet their grandfather before they pass away. So even if they have a photograph of him together with them, that's part of their roots.
Are in the US and their Thomases in Mexico, just a few hundred miles from Harry and Meghan's new home. And they don't seem to want a reconciliation. Are you open to reuniting with Harry and Meghan if they did open their heart to that?
I think if, that's kind of a moot question on the grounds that if that's what they wanted with anyone in the family, then they would have reached out for the olive branches that we had all extended several times prior. Their recent, behaviors and assaults on the royal family also suggest that they're not really about family. And so I'm thinking that all of this media stuff is really a lot of hype. With regards to what my father just said about not punishing the kids and the kids being baptized at, at the palace, I feel that, first of all, there's, no real evidence that these kids even exist. So, to come out and say they have to be baptized, at the church and with the royal family, or that they have to receive titles, or they have to be in the line of succession, I disagree with that on the grounds that United States citizens born in the United States should not, in my opinion, have access to the throne. Under the United States Constitution, it poses a serious conflict of interest.
Because
so, tell your attorneys and your PR people I said to step to the curb. First of all, you're not 12 or 19, and even if you were, Dad's given you everything your whole life and has been amazing to you. You had no right to treat him like this, or the royal family, or anyone. You are 40. How long will it take for you to wake up and be decent and be the humanitarian that your PR makes you out to be? This is not a game. These are real people with lives and hearts and feelings. And how dare you exploit that and ignore it and treat people like they're dish rags? You did a dish soap commercial. Well, great, fine, wonderful, but you don't treat people like dish rags. Talk about inequality. Treat the people in your lives like they have some value and like they are as important as your photo ops and your, galas and whatever. Life is really short, and all of that stuff doesn't matter. What matters is the people around you that you are icing and that are not replaceable.
Y'all, Samantha nailed it, did she not? And for her to absolutely just openly admit that there's not even proof of these children's existence. I totally agree with her. And I know a lot of people do. I hope you're having a good day today, and I appreciate you being here with me. I'll see you soon, and we'll talk fast. Y'all stay safe and be blessed.